Welcome, welcome! Connor the Contractor here to talk about getting sampling locations established in FUDSChem. The Corps really wants us to get these locations set up early so we're not scrambling later, so I'll see what I can do today here in FUDSChem. We've got a long-term monitoring project on our hands here. Mostly we're going to be using the same wells as before, so I'll plan ahead and put those surveyed coordinates for our existing well locations into FUDSChem. We're planning on installing 2 new wells, and we know approximately where they're going to be, so I'll put in estimated coordinates for now, and I'll get them updated later once we get back from the field and have the precise locations. Okay, first, I'll go to Tools, Data Submission. Then, I choose my project and my sampling event. And my data type is going to be Location Definition. I could create a file or upload a file. Well, for my existing wells, I already have some of that info in Excel, so I think doing an upload is going to be easier. To get my file ready for upload, I need to make it match the electronic data specification. That's under Reports, Data Validation and Submission Reports, Electronic Data Specification Fixed Width. Cool, I found it. So, I'm doing location definition. I'll click View Report. Okay, my file needs to have columns labeled with each of these field names. I can tell what to put in them from the description, and I can tell which ones are optional from the required column. Time to get to work. I just finished up that file, and here it is. You can see I have my existing wells here at the top, and then my 2 new ones are here at the bottom. I followed the best practice for naming conventions, so they've got the CRB for Camp Richards, the MW for monitoring well, and then the number. That consistency is key. I had to look up some valid values. To do that, all you've got to do is go to Reports, Data Validation and Submission Reports, valid value lists for those. The WL right here is for well, for example. Of course, my surveyed coordinates are here for my first set of locations, and I just put in some estimated ones for my new wells. I left the established date blank for those new wells, since I'm not sure when we're going to drill them. When I certify this file, it'll put in a placeholder for me, so I'll need to update that date at the same time I update the estimated coordinates to the surveyed ones. This last field, LocID status, is important. I set that to final for my existing wells because they've got the final data. The first one was established like 1,000,000 years ago, so the date on that one is kind of using a placeholder, January 1st, 1974, because we only know the year. But the record's just so old that we can't really find any more specific information on that date. So I put a note about that in the description. So even though it's not perfect data, we'd still consider this to be final data. For my 2 new wells, I set the LocID status to In Progress, because those are definitely not final yet. I'll update those later. I'd better make sure to save the file. I'd hate to have to redo any of this later. There we go. Now I can upload it. That's back under Tools, Data Submission. I'll click Upload File. This is a CSV. I'll click Upload and find my file. Okay. Now that it's uploaded, I have to screen it for errors. To do that, I'll just click Screen. Well, seems like some errors snuck in. I'll need to click on the number of errors to see what's going on in the error report. Okay, so my Synectics point of contact was able to help me out with troubleshooting. My date format in my file was off, but the good news is that's an easy fix. Now I know that Excel likes to reformat dates, so I'll keep that in mind for next time. Since the file is now error-free, I can go ahead and click Certify. Alright, I'll reach out to the Corps geologist to review and approve. Okay, it took a bit, But our locations are approved, so there's just one more step left, creating the SLX file. I'm already here in data submission, and I've got location site xref selected. For this one, I'll try creating a file. First things first, I'll choose the site. Now for my locations. The dropdown is currently blank. Oh, I can uncheck the event loc IDs only box and now they show up. Nice. Okay, now I have the first location selected. Just about all these bad boys are down gradient from the contamination source, so I'll choose D. And for site proximity, these are on site. I better make sure to save again, that's important. I'll just copy and change the location ID to the next one in line since it's the same. And continue from there. Alright, all my wells are assigned to a site. I'll make sure to save one last time before I close the file and screen it. Will you look at that? We're error-free. Mission accomplished. I'll certify and let the Corps know it's ready for them to approve. Once they do that, I'll get started on planning my field activities. For those of you watching, thank you for being here with us. We go over many topics from this video in greater depth in our tutorial videos, linked in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. If you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synaptics.net. Thank you.